This is the second of our seminars that we're running. The whole idea really is we just want to give people good information about what Joinery Network's doing and also how we're starting to help our members. We've completed just over the first full year of the Joinery Network, and despite COVID, we're finding that members are increasing. We're helping more joinery companies set up and get themselves established. Just a bit of housekeeping first thing. If you wouldn't mind keeping your microphone on mute, that'll be really helpful. And then also there is a chat facility which you should hopefully have on the bottom bar of your Zoom. So if you want to speak on there, that's fine. You just leave a message. We'll be answering messages toward the end of the presentation anyway. Alita here will be keeping a track of all the messages and questions that you ask, and we'll endeavour to answer all of those at the end. We've got here some members of the Joinery Network and the founder partners here with us. So for specific questions, you'll be hearing from Owen Dare later on. We have Luke Piper here also, who can give you any information that you may need, any questions that you have for him. We've got Brian Maddox here from Lights, Ian Smith from DJH Hardware, and we've also got, I think, did I see earlier on? Can't see at the moment, but Jonathan Buckle there in the middle of my screen from Fiscali as well. So any specific questions that you have about R&D tax credits, products, etc., then obviously just put those on the chat, and we'll get around to those later on. Great. So today we're launching our new Lignum range. It's hugely exciting. We frighteningly calculated this the other day, and we're somewhere up to about £150,000 into the development of the Lignum window and door system. It's absolutely comprehensive range. We're going to be really pleased to launch that to you today, but also talk a little bit about why the time is so good for timber right now. There are certain things aligning really in things which bode well for the timber sector. We're already seeing growth, but we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. So I'm just going to share the presentation screen with you now. So hopefully you should be able to see that. Great, hopefully you can all see the screen there. So so where we are at the moment is, we've the Joinery Network now is, done its first, over its first year now. We're up to somewhere in the region of around I think it's about 47 joiners have are either going through the process or have already gone through the process of setting up with to manufacture windows and doors more effectively. What we're working on at the moment is looking at the whole market of how you can increase sales with timber windows and doors. Realistically, 2021 is going to be your golden ticket as a joinery manufacturer for timber windows and doors, and certainly the Joinery Network has got everything that you need to be able to maximize that and get the best from it. So, what are we all about? What is the Joinery Network? Well, it's a cooperative of leading industry suppliers, and I'll go through those in a second. But the whole idea is it's a really good resource of expert services and knowledge to help joinery companies. So anybody that is either already manufacturing timber windows and doors, but wants a past 24 fully certified window that they can use for new build as well as for refurbishment. This is a whole suite of products that we're launching today, the Lignum range, that gives you just that. And it's not just about the product though, it's about all the support that's around that to make this effective. So how does it work? Well, achieving that past 24 window, your own window with genuine certification without any risk in reducing your costs, that's what the whole network is here to do. So helps you manufacture consistently high quality timber windows, keeping the efficiency right, the cost right, advanced timbers and windows, and for the Lignum and also the Thermotech range from lights as well. Specialists help to grow and be efficient. So OT Dare, Owen Dare is available to give you really good advice and help you set up your factory to make it as efficient as possible. We've got finance and tooling available through Close Brothers Asset Finance, one of our founder partners. Fiscally, it will help you recover every penny that you're entitled to on R&D tax credits, and be absolutely sure on this, you'll be entitled to an awful lot more than you think you are. Then the right hardware from BJ Waller, and also from DJH Stonebridge and Finesse ranges, where you have fantastic grade 5 certified products, also tested with a Koya, which really just lift any project that you're doing. End-to-Air software from Carwin, fantastic support there from, we believe is the best joinery manufacturing system that there is out there. And sales and marketing support from Bolster Marketing. We, as an organisation, understand the window and door market very, very well. I've been working in it for many years, and can also give lots of advice and support in how to go about promoting and growing a business. So the founder partners are, BJ Waller, DJH, OTD Timber, Bolster Marketing, Fiscali, Close Brothers, Lights Tooling, and Carwin. They're the companies that have put the time, effort, and money behind the Joinery Network. And then we've got some fantastic affiliates as well. People like James Latham Timber, who've been hugely helpful in creating and providing timber and advice on timber product for us. Centaur, not only the hardware, but also a whole range of fantastic products, lifestyle products to improve sliding and bifold doors. Wink House, who've helped us with testing and product to make sure we can achieve past 24. Technos on the coating side have been a real help to us, and we'll hopefully be doing a physical meeting with these guys in the near future, where we can invite joiners to have a look around their factory as soon as we're out this horrendous COVID situation. Ilbrook, who've helped us really get the sealant and the installation of Lignum windows as good as it possibly can be, and MBM Timber as well, for giving us superb support from one of the major European worldwide suppliers of timber into the sector. So basically, you've got there everything you need to manufacture and sell sustainable, superior timber windows and doors all through the Joinery Network. It's a safe, reliable route to compliance. So you will be able to manufacture legal, past 24, 2016 certified windows and doors. And we've invested, the whole supply chain's invested in comprehensive testing, which we'll talk a little bit more about. So it's all about creating opportunities. So we work with joinery manufacturers to increase capacity and productivity. We invest in the complete window system testing, promoting sustainable products to homeowners, developers, and trade and architects. And the interest there is just growing and growing. And then useful, nice, easy to use sales information. So giving you everything you need to engage with the sales, with the homeowners, with architects, with developers to satisfy the demand. And we're working very closely at the front end of that. So I talked a little bit at the beginning here, just why the timber window and door market is ready for your company in 2021. There's some great opportunities coming, but it's worth just telling you why that growth potential has come around. So we know that 80% of wooden windows go into the home improvement market, which this year has just grown exponentially across all the product ranges, timber being at the forefront of that. The Wood Window Alliance, should I say, state that 52% of householders believe that timber windows and doors provide the most character in a home. That's a really important part. Windows are no longer a distressed purchase. They're not there just to fulfill the keeping the rain out and keeping the wind out. They're there to enhance the look of a home, and in some cases, people will transform the whole look of the outside of their house, led by the window design. That's a massive change over the last 10 years. And also the installed value of timber windows is around 450 million every year. The last full survey was done in 2016, and they are planning another one at the moment. But in that year, timber window sales grew by 25%, which is absolutely staggering. And timber windows, from all the sources that we're able to pull information from, they're still significantly outperforming the market, both on volume, but also the higher installed sales price as well, which is important to everybody, as we're all doing this to make money. So why will homeowners choose timber when they're given a choice? Well, there's some interesting things that you may or may not be aware of behind this at the moment. Is that in the PVC market, premium products have started to increase. So we're seeing flush sash, multi-chamber framed PVC windows with premium foil colors, which are desirable for a lot of homeowners. But that, in some cases, they've increased the price of a PVC window by more than 100%. It's absolutely staggering. And that means that the differential between a great quality timber window and a top premium PVC window has massively reduced. But it's always been the case of saying, well, yeah, but that's fine, but I can get a PVC window within a couple of weeks. Well, that isn't really the case anymore. We have worldwide PVC resin shortages right now. With the America's hardest hit in growth, you have a massive amount of PVC going into places like Brazil and Africa, because they're putting lots of infrastructure down there, so it's all going into piping. The USA has got outages in some of their PVC resin manufacturing, so they're paying top dollar out there right now and outbidding a lot of the European companies, which is leading to limited problems in the supply of PVC for windows and doors, limited foiling capacity for those premium foils I talked about. And of course, you've got much more complex manufacturing to make a window look like a timber window out of PVC. So all those things are increasing lead times to between 6 and 8 weeks for a premium flush window, which is much closer to where we are with timber. And the BWF stated recently that there are many examples of research that show timber windows to be between 14 and 25% less expensive than PVC windows when you look at the whole of life cost. So the purchase price is reduced, significantly between the two. The actual, when you look at the whole of life cost, they take everything into consideration, then you have that reduced cost. And remember what we said earlier, 52% of householders like the idea of timber windows. So there's a lot of closing of the gap there. So all those things, set everything in a good place to look at the timber window market as a big driver for your business going forward. Why is it a benefit? Well, it's an area of your business that you can definitely automate to a large extent. So we all know there's a skill shortage out there at the moment. It takes you, 5 to 6 years to train a joiner up from an apprenticeship. There's a big investment in time there, which is great to be able to do. And hopefully you guys are able to do that wherever possible. But if you can automate a lot of your business so it doesn't rely purely on the skills, that gives you a long-term sustainable solution for your business, whilst you can still focus on doing the bespoke and quality stuff that you've become known for and love to do and have a great reputation for. It's about having that balance within your business, which hopefully timber windows can help. So what we've done is created the Lignum range of fully certified timber windows and doors that are easy to manufacture, have all the tooling in place to be able to produce, and is an expanding range. As we speak, we're doing more and more testing. So we have a flush sash product, we have a box sash, we'll soon have a spiral balance sliding sash, we have a bifold door system, we have inward and externally opening single doors and double French doors. Adding to this range very soon, as well as the spiral balance, will be a sliding door system as well, which is absolutely stunning slimline framed product that will be going through in testing in 2021. So there's everything there to give you what you need. And as I say, we've invested circa around 150,000 at the moment in developing and the testing of the Lignum system. But importantly, what does that mean? Well, if you're looking at a new system of fully certified modern products, then it's going to save you literally tens of thousands of pounds in R&D, design and testing to use the Lignum range. And everything is, you get a certificate of compliance with every single product that you manufacture, which gives you all the requirements you need for document Q approved for new build. So at this point, I'm going to hand over to Owen, who is going to give you the rundown of the products in a lot more detail on the manufacturing side of things, and can answer the technical stuff that I certainly can't answer. So I'm going to hand over to Owen now.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming along. What I'm going to do is go very briefly through how we got started and the PAS 24 testing process, and then how we deliver this to the joinery businesses, medium-sized joinery businesses. So what I will do is share my screen first. Do this on the share screen. That'll work. And right, hopefully you can all see that okay. So manufacturing the Lignum range, PAS 24 is where it started for the joinery network. The main focus was to get a high performing for security, to reduce costs for the small joinery and medium-sized joinery businesses, because it, as Andy has already stated, is a very expensive process with no guarantee of pass. So PAS 24, 2016, this is the current standard that everybody should be testing to. Block Q still states 2012. in the UK, but in Wales it has been updated to 2016 and the UK will follow. So everybody should be testing to 2016. What is PAS 24? It's accreditation of methods. So mechanical loading is the first part of the test. Now, what they do on the, very briefly on the testing, they'll test the glass, they'll test the hardware, they'll test the joints of all products, usually about 16 points around a door and a casement and a box sash window. They simulate this with a hydraulic pushing arm that push up to a given force. For glass, it's 2,000 newtons of pressure. And then obviously mechanical loading for windows and doors is slightly more. So for the windows, it's 3,000 newtons of pressure, and for doors, it's 4,500. They'll test all your hinge points, all your lock points, like I say, the joints and the glazing method. If you get this wrong, you can get some failures. Now, the second part of the test is the manual test requirements. Now, manual test, again, they test the infill. So the infill test is your glass and your panels. So they check how well they're fitted into the product. They're given a number of tools to do this with to gain entry, and they're allowed 3 minutes times 5 around a product to find the weak points. So manual attack on the glazing, they try and remove the unit and gain entry. If you're externally glazed, they'll remove the beads fairly quickly, and then they'll cut sides of frames to gain entry into the glass. If it's internally glazed, obviously they've got to remove timber elements to try and get to the glass. Manipulation test is part. This part is to try and disengage the locks. Again, we've given tools, 300mm crowbars, Stanley blades, screwdrivers, the sort of thing that an average opportunist burglar would have in his jacket to walk along the road and see if there's an opportunity to gain entry. Manual attack, again, like I say, this is the crowbar, screwdriver, Stanley blades. And then on the doors, they do what they call a hard body, soft body impact. So they have a leather bag at 30 kilograms and a steel bar at 50 kilograms, where they swing at given points around the door and the glass to try and force the locks and the hinges to give. We do a full survey, a seminar on .q. I don't want to go into it in detail today because it's quite comprehensive. There's lots to know about document Q. It's not just about having hardwood timber and gluing everything in tightly and having the right lock. There's a lot of other elements that are involved. What we've done at the Joinery Network is we've taken all of that pain away from the joinery companies. So they don't need to worry about how they're going to get through it. If they sign up to the Joinery Network range, and that range can be from just a casement or doors or box sash windows or bifolds, whatever element they want with their business, or they could buy the whole range. It gives you a chance to service an industry that you currently can't market to, which is the new build sector, but it also enhances your product for refurb and replacement market, because insurance companies now are getting very astute on what windows have to achieve. The security of the property is not just about having bolts on your windows, it's about all the whole elements. So if you can have a test certificate that says your products have been tested to PAS 24, it will help lower your insurance premiums. So how does the Joinery Network deliver the certification to the industry? We've done the comprehensive testing. What we do now is we offer a certification scheme, so it's cascaded test evidence. On the right of your screen here, you'll see a typical certificate that we offer. We have all the certificate numbers that we've tested for PAS 24, but we also do 6375 weather performance testing to make sure that it's fit for purpose, and we have thermal calculations for U values. So the product's got all of the badges that it needs to comply with new build and the refurb market. So test product range to PAS 24 for windows and doors. 6375 is a weather test. So what they do is they have an air permeability test. So they check the air leakage. Then they have a water test, which is obviously seeing when the product will leak at what given pressure before water ingress is a failure point. And then it's positive and negative wind pressure. So they're trying to deflect the substrates of the material to see if there's any stress on those joints and if they will give way under those given forces. We have tested all our products up to the highest level. So class 4 for air permeability. Water generally is up to 600 PA plus, depending on what product is, and wind pressure is all up to 2000 PA, which is class 5 for that product. That is a very good performing product. Only the very large window and door manufacturers will be achieving this. A lot of the smaller ones won't be able to get near this. Thermals, so thermal performance, obviously U values. All our products are now U valued around about 1.3, 1.4 for double glazed units at 24 mil units. We also have energy ratings now. We have an A-rated casement that's just achieved and box ash windows. So we can offer those to the industry. Energy ratings for the UK, for timber especially, is not always prominent. Most of the architects and contractors ask for U values. But it's a very good marketing tool for your company to show that you are compatible with the plastic industry. Meeting all the building regulations. So these are the ones mainly that we have to deal with. .Q for security, L1B, which is your thermal compliance for fuels, Part M, mobility access, and document K for barrier for falling. There is one for trickle vents as well, but that's not part of the testing process, but we can help you with that as well. So what we do for Deliver It, we offer these certificates to the industry, and these are the products that we've tested currently. And I will just tell Andy, we actually have got the spring balance window. It is tested. That's part of our range. So that was the last one we've done. We are currently testing small products. So we've got top swing and side swing casements, stormproof casements, so in their box ash windows, French doors open in, open out, with panels, without panels, full glass, half glass, every combination that you can think of. We tested in the region of 37 different door types so that we could cover the full range. Same with the single doors, all the different ranges with plank effect doors, half paneled, Resin filled panels, Belection mold, all the things that we do within the joinery industry. Entrance doors, again, it's a standalone with a different lock. This was a self-engaging multi-point locking system, key operated or thumb turn operated, or it can be used off of a motorized keypad off your mobile phone. So it's quite a comprehensive locking system. Bifolds with a Centaur gear, top loaded track at the moment, all opening out. We've done a number of configurations. It's hard to cover all of them because there's so many different ones that you can do, but we are going back to test some more of that product shortly. And obviously the spiral balance, and Andy mentioned the sliding door. I've got a test going through actually now. I'm going down tomorrow actually to go over to Sir Lewis. We're actually starting with Accoya. Again, we had some issues with Accoya previously because of the brittleness and the softness of the material for Patch 24 2016. We had a number of failures. We started looking at other solutions. So we started with the European redwood, and that's our benchmark at the moment. So default is European redwood, and then you can use all of the harder materials, red grandes, sapellis, oaks, and all of those things are covered underneath that scheme. If we can get the Accoya product through, which we are endeavouring to try to do, then we'll obviously add that to the range. On top of that, we've got the sliding door. Obviously, we're doing a fixed casement to match with the top swing and side swing. It's a clip system, which we're going to be testing hopefully in December. Tilt and turn's another one we're offering to it, even though it's more of a commercial market. In the Scottish market, they tend to have everything opening in, so we will be looking at that product as well. So the policy for .Q, generally, if you haven't got a certificate, you're not compliant. Now, I know some of the planning officers are overlooking this a little bit. Some are, some aren't, and it's a risk to your business if you don't have the certification. The easiest thing for you to do is get compliant. It safeguards your business. You know you're doing the right things, and whatever the contractor or the builder or the the compliant officer is doing, it's not a concern to you because you're doing the right thing. So by taking the risk outside of your business, having the documentation, you know that there's never going to be a horrible phone call that somebody's going to phone up and say, where's my certificate? I haven't got it. You've then got to either try and test those windows you fitted or replace everything that's in that building. It'll be very costly. On top of that, you need a CE marked DOP, Declaration of Performance. The Joinery network help you with this. We supply these all documented out, all part of the scheme. So you don't need, I think my computer's just going to die. Excuse me for a second. Just need to turn the button on. So we offer a certificated license for each product individually. There's a fee for that license, a very small fee of £150 per annum. And that allows you to become compliant and sell into that market. Part of that £150, you get the DOP. All you have to do is add your company details to the top. All the technical data that's in there is correct. The exception to .Q is Bespoke. Now, the only time generally under Annex B is a very small door with a very small panel that you use a density timber of 600 or above with a multi-point lock. But it allows you very limitations on a door and what you can make. I think the door is 2.1 by a meter overall frame, and that's it. The panels are 240 wide. Generally, we don't do those. We generally make something a lot bigger than that. So it does really limit what you can make. So realistically, you should be testing. This does not obviously include fire doors. Bespoke doors will be designed and made with a specific installation and will not utilize standardized components. So if conservation are involved, then potentially they will override building regulations. There is no Annex B for windows, so you have to test windows. So box ash windows, casement windows, tilt and turn windows need a PAS 24 2016 test before you could actually manufacture for new build. So the Lignum range, I'm going to just share some of the details because I'm just going to undo this for a second, minimize this, and I'm going to show you some sections because this will be more of an interest to the joiners and the technical people. So this is, hopefully everybody can see that okay. I will zoom in so you can see, right. This is a box ash window, nothing really changed much in relation to the framing section. It's a traditional jam headliners tongued into a frame. We have to put a structural element in here for the security, but this is for .Q, it's only ground floor and accessible areas. If you want to go to the seminar and we can discuss this in more detail, you don't need to worry about first floor and second floor. So you're only fitting the security elements on the ground floor windows. We have a meeting round detail at 43. Everything we do in the joinery network, and this is really, it's not a massive change. Some people are and some people aren't, but internally glazed is the way forward. If you look at the failure points on timber windows, generally it's sill level where gravity takes water and bottom beads. They tend to move and allow water ingress. Now, people will say, well, the water can't get beyond the rebate when it's an externally glazed system. But the reality is, no, it can't get beyond it, but it sits in the rebate and it starts rotting from the inside out, and you'll end up with failure within sort of 5 years. That's not a great selling tool to a window customer. They want longevity. By doing internally glazed systems, here you get a nice putty fill, which is traditional, so it looks like what we're selling into conservation. So it fits into that market as well, but it also has a main substrate that's tied in with tenons and comb joints that can't move. So you get no weak point with a small beaded detail. This special clip system we do with the joinery network that holds the glass in is unique to BJ Waller. It's designed so that this testing we spoke about where they try and push the glass in, this is your barrier to stop the glass fouling. Special sash catches, which have been designed again and available from BJ Waller, that allow the product to stay strong, because the problem with traditional sash catches, they're only screwed down vertically. When they try and pull the sash apart, these defred and the whole thing fails. By having a horizontal and a vertical fixing point, they work together and hold the thing strong. Sill detail, is a clip system. So the staff and parting bead that we offer is a special clip system. This helps with installation because you can load the frame into the structure very quickly, put your sashes in afterwards, and then just snap these into hole with no pins and no making good on site. It's a very good system, very strong, and it's part of the security element. This window, I'm quite proud of this window because this is and I can say this categorically, this is the best weather performance window in the UK by a country mile. All of the windows generally for, if you look at larger window manufacturers, they're around about 300 PA before the water ingress. This has gone over 600 PA. It's nearly doubled what the performance of all of those windows done. And it's mostly down to the way it's been designed, and the weather seals that we have here are very good compression seals, but they also allow the product to slide up and down. So I'm very happy with that window. The Joinery network is very happy, and we do like to tell customers, and you can promote this to your customers as well and say, look, this window performs to the very highest level. Casement windows, everything stays the same within here. So the whole range and the glazing method is the same. Nothing changes. So once we've got the glazing method sorted, that covers your whole range of products. The framing section is a very traditional small element. So your frame section at 57 by 93 is typical of casements on the market. A 64mm rail for your top rails and stiles. For PAS 24. If you want to reduce this, it doesn't cover under PAS 24, but it will allow you to reduce it to go into the refurb market and get an elegant window. So there's lots of flexibility within this product. Seal detail, traditional sloping seal, friction hinges, opening 60 degrees and 90 degrees for egress. Profiles, this is a good thing about having a profile here. This overload profile or lamb's tongue or square bead or whatever you want can be whatever you want it to be. You don't have to buy a lot of tooling then to keep changing different profiles. You literally just got to change a bead. Now the Joinery network are offering this bead off the shelf from BJ Waller in lamb's tongue and overload with the glazing bars that go with this at 22mm. And you can just buy these, and all you've got to do is cut and scribe. It makes it a lot easier. We're offering this in a composite material. It's a timber flour with a PU resin, so it's a mixture. If you want it in timber itself, you can still make it in timber. So there's lots and lots of flexibility within that product. This is the jam section of the casement, so just push that into there. So again, this shows you it's a standard 64mm section. So this is our PAS 24 window in European redwood, cone joint system, double weather seal. This helps massively for the thermal calculations by capturing warm air between the substrates. It improves the thermal efficiency of this product. Just to show you can have a 57mm rail, all we do is change the back set of the lock to a smaller back set, allows you to have a very elegant window that will fit in with the refurb market. It's not PAS 24, but it does allow you to do that. It's not restricting your sale within this product range. When we go on to door set, so this is an open out head and seal section. As you can see, is exactly the same as a casement. So once you've got tooling for the casement, you'll have tooling for the framing and the glazing part of the door. The only element that really changes is the outside profile of the door, because obviously we've got a different locking system and a different hinge system. This is chute bolt into the head. This is a French door rail detail, double weather seal again. Profiles on here can be whatever you want them to be, but we do have some rationalized ranges within the lights tooling solution that we offer. Square seal for doors for screeding, chute bolt into the seal, and then a number of seal extensions that are required. And these again can be flexible. These parts are not fixed for the security, but these are my recommendations. This is the meeting rail for the French doors. So we have a double handle version here. We are testing the single hand version with the Fab Lock from Winkhouse. That's the one I'm going down to see tomorrow with the Accoya. Traditional butt hinges. These are high quality products, stainless steel 316. So you get longevity, no failure points, no callbacks with ball bearing washers and all these things that fail in time. These have a really good high warranty aspect of the product. The whole list of hardware is, when we offer this to the joiner, is listed for each product individually. So when you're buying product, BJ will give me a list that has one for casement, one for doors, one for bifolds. You can then just order those products very easily without having to decide which one goes where. I give a full method statement on all the products as well. So we'll just go to this product. The good thing about the casement is we've actually got an added-clad solution to go on the same casement window. So this casement window doesn't change. Everything works as it is. This is an added-clad system that just clips onto the face of the existing product. So once you buy into this tooling solution, or you manufacture this product, you instantly open up another market, and this is a growing market within the UK, because obviously the climate change, we're having a lot more rainfall than we used to. I mean, October, I think, has been one of the wettest months I can remember. For coastal, it's great. For exposed area, it's great because it's pretty much zero maintenance on the external face. You're not getting any recoating for paints, and then you can change the internal finish to a stained finish, to a wax, a oil finish, or something that's more in keeping with the internal furniture. So, and we've also done this for doors as well. So we've got a full range of added-clad products. One thing also I want to talk about, within this glazing detail, we can offer a whole range of glass specs. So from 12 mil, I've got a 12 mil single glaze unit, 16, 14, 20, 24 laminated glass. And if there is a detail that we now can offer a triple glaze product. So this whole range is comprehensive. It'll cover virtually anything that you'll ever get asked for by an architect. And we can do all of this through a tooling solution that makes setting up and manufacturing and machining very, very efficient, with zero setup, date and tool sets. So this is the product we're offering. When I come to see you, normally what happens, the process is, if you want a licensing scheme, we'll book an appointment for me to visit your factory. Depending on the number of licenses, I will be there 1, 2, 3 days, training up your staff. It's not just the managers and the directors that need to know this, it's the people on the shop floor that need to understand how the product's made. So I go through everything from the timber types, my recommendations on what timbers you should be using, and really the industry should all be using now engineered materials. It's a surprise to me that people are still using Digbos, Rocos, solid boards, because a lot of waste, a lot of labor. So my recommendation would always be engineered materials, and I would go through that with you on the day. Then we would go through the machining process, the best method, the way to travel through the factory, the best tooling solution, and then I would get lights tooling involved and explain how that works. We have some demo tools that we can do some machine demos as well, so we can show you how the quality of the machining is and how quick and efficient it is to set up. And you don't need to have big kit. You don't have to have big CNCs and window lines to do this. We've designed this product so that it'll work on a spindle and a tenon, or even a spindle with a fence and one machine would be able to, you'd be able to make this product very efficiently. And then as the market grows, as you grow as a business, then you can invest in more machinery or more tooling. So it's a comprehensive way of looking at it. I also go through on the day the whole aspect of it. So I have over 450 drawings that become your property and your working manufacturing drawings. As you see here, these drawings will become your drawings. So you can refer back to these. You can print these out on A3. They're all drawn to one, so you can actually see, measure. I give tool drawings so that if you are buying tooling, you can correspond between the drawing and the tooling to make sure that it's millimeter perfect. We also give hardware drawings to show the parameters of the hardware, how it works, where you crop it, how it fits, where it locates. Makes it very easy. I also go through method statements for glazing and panel fitting. And why I'm there, because of the knowledge I've had within industry, I've been here nearly 40 years now, doing windows and doors and staircases and furniture, antique restoration. There's a lot of aspects I've done. I've also been on site running building sites on installation, so I know I know most of what needs doing to make this product work and make it efficient for the industry. The bespoke and the listed buildings, obviously, if you want to continue doing that, you can have that as a part of your business if that's what you want to carry on with. But you will find once you buy into this solution that it'll naturally take over a big chunk of your manufacturing process, because you'll see how easy it is to sell, you'll see how easy it is to manufacture, your workforce will get used to it, and so you don't have to keep explaining how things are made on a regular basis, so that you don't have that downtime of what do I do in this situation, what do I do in that situation. It's all listed within the drawings and the training that I do. So you know, we are here to support you. So once I've left the, you know, on those training days, it doesn't stop there. If you've got a question or you want advice, I'm always available. If I'm with a customer, obviously I'll be working with a customer, but when I'm free, I will always get back to my customers, as John will always testament, who's here today. I help out where I can, and if I have to come down and do some more training or enhance the training or give you some demos on other bits just to help you through until you get more au fait with it, then that's what we do. So I think that's sort of covered all of that for now. I've got very quick photograph. I don't know if this will show up actually. So this is one of windows that a customer made for me, and just showing you very quickly the details. So this is the typical bead that you would buy, and this is the external face. So you can see it's a very elegant window. We have the weather seal that we have in here covers up all the hardware, but also gives you good thermals, but also aesthetically looks really good. Putty bar solution. So this looks like a putty bar solution. In fact, it looks better than a putty bar because you haven't got those imperfections that you would have generally on putty bar system. Location points for all your hardware. So this little upstand here that you can see locates your chute bolt keeps, your hinges, and all of the other elements that are needed. So it's quite a comprehensive range. So that's me for now. If you've got any questions, you know, please direct them to me or to Andy or to Luke. We can all help. I hope you found this interesting. There's a lot involved with this, and like I say, we are going to be testing more stuff. We also, one thing that is new now, we've actually got on board a third-party verification scheme with BuildCheck. It's going through the process now, and it looks like we're going to gain secure by design for these products as well, which means we will be audited on a yearly basis to prove that our windows perform to the highest level on a continued basis. So it's not just a certificate for a one-day test, it's a certificate for a lifetime test that says this product will always perform to the highest level. And if legislation changes and .Q or 6375 or Part L change and there's an increase in performance, we will test that and pass that down to our customers. So thank you again. I will now hand you, I'm assuming, back over to Andy.
Thanks very much, Owen. Just before you go, could you just, you touched on the fact that PAS 24 has moved from 2012 to 2016. Could you just give a quick summary of the main differences there?
Yes. So for PAS 24 2012, the main differences is on doors. The reason it came in is because doors started using thumb turns, then you've got letter plates. So they changed the cutting test. So originally it was a cutting test that you had to get a cylinder through a hole. The cylinder was the size of a person's shoulders to act as a body going through a hole. Now on doors now, that cylinder has changed to a 50mm diameter cylinder. And the hole has to be a lot smaller, so the cutting test is a lot easier for the UCAS test labs. They can cut a 50mm hole very quickly with a standing blade through weak points of a lock. So if they can cut through a panel or cut the glass out or cut part of the door out, and this is the same for windows. If they can cut the elements out quicker, then obviously they can gain entry. If you haven't tested to 2016, then you're not compliant to British standards, because 2012 is a withdrawn standard. It doesn't exist anymore. The test labs, the UCAS test labs can't test to 2012 because it is a 2016 criteria. So that's the main difference.
Great, thanks very much. Would you mind just stop sharing your screen as well?
Sorry. Figure out how I do that now. Give me a second.
Great.
We'll get there.
So, yes, it's worth pointing out that most PVCU manufactured windows and aluminium windows are manufactured to 2016, past 24, 2016, not 2012. So, you know, that is something there. There should be a little share screen arrow at the bottom.
At the top of your screen, there should be a button, stop sharing.
I'll try to find it, sorry.
Yeah.
There
you go. Lovely. Thank you. The other thing that, as well as the Build Check Association, which is really useful for us in making sure our products keep at the top of forefront of developments in security testing. We're also work very closely with CERTAS, both their trade association and their certification. We'll be announcing in January a scope for installation of Lignum windows and doors, which is unique in the industry. In fact, I'm not aware of any organisation in any type of product that has its own scope for installing the windows and doors. Normally, it's just to the very basic requirements. So, you know, the opportunity to be able to offer that to homeowners, that you've got a fully certified, approved by UCAS organisation installation method, as well as manufacturing method, should give homeowners a hell of a lot of confidence in your product. And so we'll be telling you more about that early in the new year. But the other thing that our association with the CERTAS Trade Association gives us is direct access into government. So we've been we've helped to shape some of the government guidance over the COVID situation with regards to tradespeople working in homes. And we have access to the Building Regulations Advisory Committee on giving a voice to windows and doors within that. So we'll know very soon. So, for example, there are going to be some changes coming in the not too distant future on things like trickle vents as for one. So we will be first with the information on that to keep you guys up to date and legal and meeting all the requirements. Okay. I've got a couple of questions here that I wanted to answer. There's one from Judith. Owen, if you wouldn't mind answering these for us, that'd be great. If the basic internals are from your system, can we as designers modify the frames to make bespoke windows and doors, in particular deeper frames?
Well, the main criteria for testing is what we test is what we make, and we test the smallest substrates in size that we can, so that you can cascade those sizes larger. So if we've done this for instance, a 57mm frame can be 68, 90, whatever you need it. If it's 93mm deep, it can grow to 120, 130, whatever you need it to be. The profiles can be anything you want them to be. They don't need to be of a low limestone. They can be beaded. They can be anything that's bespoke, providing the joiner's got tooling to do that. Obviously, then he can manufacture those parts. The main part is the hardware that we put on the tested products for PAS 24 has to be the hardware. The glazing method can't change because that's been tested, but you've got some flexibility. So sizes of timber can change pretty much, as long as they go bigger and not smaller than what we've already tested, that's fine.
Great, thank you. And James Patchett has a question as well, which is, do we have a butt hinge solution?
Yeah, I did just answer this to James, actually. We are planning to test the butt hinge casement it's just time scales because unfortunately with COVID, everything shut down, the test lab shut down, so we didn't get around to testing these. The butt hinge, we've already got the details, the solution. It's going to be very similar to the butt hinge door set, so it'll be the same profile as we will do on the door. So we're trying to keep continuity within the tooling solution, but we're using a smaller hinge, obviously a 75 hinge rather than a 100mm hinge. So that'll, the plan is we're going to do this door set. Tomorrow I'm going over to sort the door set out for the Accoya. Then we're doing the fixed casement. Then we'll do the butt hinges. Then we'll do the lift and slide. So all of these products will be offered. If a customer wants a specific product and they've got a project on the go, we will work with them, making samples, getting the test done. We'll pay for all the testing and everything, and we can work the product through.
Great, thanks very much. I'm just checking if there's any other messages. I think that's, and Luke's just asked us to sort of talk about the Certas, the actual credibility that it gives to everyone who is using it. To have a clear defined certification scheme is going to be really important going forward. Also, anybody using the Certas scheme has access to a whole load of digital assets and support. They generate somewhere in the region of about 1,000 recommendations from homeowners for Certas members every single month. And also it gives access to joiners who are using that system to generate to get leads from the Certas own website that has about 10,000 homeowners on it every single month. So lots of useful stuff there as well. Couple of other questions here from Dave. So what's the process of tooling, discussions and details?
Well, no, Brian can answer that, I can answer it. So what we do with the tooling, we have Lights Tooling have a dedicated tooling set on the shelf. Normally about 2 sets we plan to have on the shelf, and this is mainly for the casements and the doors initially. And then obviously if that set sells, then we obviously we replace that with another set. The tooling, the main thing for the tooling, it's a 0 set tooling set with 2 diameters. So your tenoning blocks will be a 320 diameter tenoning block for slot and tenon, a 0 datum point. So once you've set it up onto the spindle with a fence or onto your tenoning machine, there's no more setting up. You just take the block off and replace it with the next block, and you carry on machining. And that tenoning block will do all of your products. So it'll do casements, it'll do box sash windows, it'll do door sets, it'll do bifolds. It's the same tenoning process. For your profile, for your inside profile, so that'll either go onto a spindle or it could go onto a CNC, depending where you are with manufacture. It's a 140 diameter tool for the spindle, at 0 datum point again. So once you've set up your machine for height and fence alignment, that's it. So inside profile, diameter is the same as the outside profile, and that's how it works. So it's literally tool on, tool off each time, reducing setup times and adjustments, and the cut quality is accurate. So it stops you having to shoot doors in, shoot windows in, because you shouldn't be doing any of this. Plus the cutting quality is so much better that you shouldn't be sanding. So it reduces all your denibbing and your sanding and your manual handling. It's a comprehensive system.
Great. And then I think if you see a couple of questions from James and from Vaughan. James is obviously asking if the Accoya is going to be an option going forward after the testing for all the product range.
Right. Well, the thing with Accoya, we failed on a box sash window, we failed on a casement, we failed on 2 door sets initially. We're now going back with we're working with Axis now to get Accoya through. Firstly on the doors, because we see that as the easier product to get through. Casements and box sash windows are a lot more difficult. They're very small elements, which mean they can cut them out very, very quickly. But we will continually work with Axis to get these products through. So we're starting with the door, stage 1, and then Axis will want to get them because they want to get on board with the joinery network as well with Acquire, and we'll go with the other products. Axis haven't got a casement at the moment that's passed with their product. There isn't anything on the market that's passed with an Acquire product at the moment. But they have got 2012 with a door, but like I said, 2012 is a withdrawn standard. There's a new test for a product for doors. They can't get it through on 2016. I've re-engineered a product, so hopefully, fingers crossed, the next time we launch a product, it'll be a Acquire French door set.
Great, thanks, Aaron. I'm getting some very important questions about costing from what's the tooling cost going to be from lights. Now, obviously, this is going to depend significantly on the kit and setup that you already have, and obviously, Aaron can come and give you a lot of advice on that. And it's probably best that we have those conversations with you one-to-one, so we really match up to what you need. But is there anything?
Sorry, Andy. It's very dependent on what they're manufacturing. The tooling costs it adjusts according to what products you're going to actually make. But it's not just about the upfront cost. It's about the saving that you make, longevity. So the knives last longer, 6 months to a year, depending on what materials you're cutting. So you get that longevity. You're not changing tips and or regrinding, or if people are using limiter knives and things like that, you're resharpening on a regular basis. So there's downtime. People don't calculate the loss of labour within their manufacturing, and this is the thing that we're reducing. The setup time of the tools are very, very low. The cutting quality is very, very high, and the longevity of the tool is very, very long. And those are the things that you have to think about. If you're buying a tooling solution, that means you've got to change tips on a regular basis, or you've got to resharpen on a regular basis. That's a lot of downtime.
That's great. Thanks very much. And Dave Matthews just asking if we're using engineered wood, what are the finishing implications, and are they part of the testing?
Sorry, can you repeat that, Andy? Sorry,
yeah, if we're using engineered wood, what are the finishing implications, and what are they? What part of the testing? Are they part of the testing? Sorry.
Yes. All of the products were tested with engineered redwood. Everything was tested with engineered redwood, so it'd be laminated sections, depending what size for frames it is, a 4 lamel. All of this product was supplied by Latham's for us to test. We are always using engineered boards because it cuts down on the labour at the front end of the business. So where you would normally have to split, overhand, thickness before you PAR a product, it's already PAR'd. All you've got to do is run it through a moulder or thickness, and it's ready to service, ready to go on the spindle and be profiled. The painting implications is you get better paint finish on an engineered board. If you're using the right tooling, it gives you less grain lift, so that when you are putting your first primer coat on, it's not lifting the grain, which means you have less denibbing. We work with Technos, but we'll work with others as well, but Technos is our main preferred paint supplier. A 3-coat paint system, so you get 2 solutions. You can either put 2 base coats, 1 top coat, or 1 base coat and 2 top coats. Neither are right or wrong. It's really how you prefer to apply the process. So you get a very high finish, and it enhances the product. The paint finish will enhance the product because you're buying a 6-meter length of engineered board. You get better procurement, so you get less waste. Okay.
Great, thanks very much. And so can we provide the engineered timber specification to specifiers?
Who do I need to? Normally when within the training, I go through all of the timber types, where you can buy those from, who's my recommendation. I bring samples with me on the day so that we can have a look at the product, have a feel of it. If we got tooling in before I turned up, I would suggest buying some lengths of the timber, and we'll do some trials and we'll make product there. So, I'm qualified machinist, joiner, carpenter. I can do all these things for you. I can demonstrate how it all works. I've worked with a couple of Laura Lewis here, I went down, we went through the tooling before they actually started manufacturing with it. I've been down with John at JF to go through his tooling solutions. I was there yesterday actually going through. I go through this in detail, so it's not just the timber, it's everything. We comprehensively cover every aspect of manufacture, and it's very hard to do that all within a day, but you start with that process, and then if you've got more questions, I can come back and help you again, and we just work on it on a yearly basis.
Great. Yeah, and Judith just asking, obviously from a specification point of view, is there a particular, is there anything that we can provide to put into an initial specification?
So you want like an MBS spec, is that the sort of thing you're looking at? So obviously the DOPs from the CE marks, they tell you what the product performs to. We are, as you know, Andy, we are launching a specification sheet for all of our products. So it'll tell you what a casement performs to it. So it'll have the .Q, it'll have the 6375 weather performance test on it. It'll have acoustic ratings on there. It'll have thermals on there. So we will be releasing those shortly.
Yes, and obviously Judith asked that question. So Judith, yeah, we'll have those by the end of the year. We'll have a full suite of specification sheets that we can send out to you, and we will send out to you. And Vaughan just asks, obviously the standard or the type of timber, is it the same as Accoya? Because obviously there are concerns, obviously in
what about
fixings, etc.
Yeah. There's lots of timber suppliers out there. I've worked with Latham's for a large number of years, and they've been working with the laminators in Germany. And we've got, for doors, we've got a specific laminated section that we use now, which is their anti-bend and anti-twist product. We tend to promote Red Grandis quite a lot because we're looking at the environment and the eco part of this discussion now. Really, we shouldn't be using anything from the rainforest. We really shouldn't be using Idigbos, Irocos. Sapele is also becoming an endangered species, but it's still, Latham's can get FSC certified material, which is great. So why it's controlled, I'm happy with that. Red Grandis is fully 100% FSC certified. It's large plantations from Uruguay. We've got large stocks within the UK. It's a very stable material, very durable, easy to paint and stain. Stains really well for you can get almost like an oak finish through Technos to do a light oak stain and an antique oak stain for Red Grandis. At the moment, Accoya, like I said, we haven't got it a test through yet. Until we do, we can't offer it for PAS 24, but you can use Accoya for your refurb work still. You can carry on using it for this product. You can use it in all your replacement market. You just can't use it in the new build market from the Joinery network. Once we have, then we will obviously that. We're also looking at Lignum. It's another new product on the market. It's a resin impregnated modified timber. That is got a 50-year desired life on it, the same as Accoya. It's denser than Accoya. It's in the region of about 650, I believe, in density, or maybe even a bit more. I've got to do some trials with this. I'm working with Lignum at the moment. We're doing some cutting trials, some planing trials, some machining trials, and then we're going to do a PAS 24 trial with that product. Once we're happy with it, and they've got the stocks of joinery sections that we need, then we can promote that alongside Accoya as a viable option that will give you a dimensionally stable product. So there's lots of things going on that we will be looking at, and obviously Brian at MBM is he's looking at these things on a constant basis. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to talk to Brian on a regular basis this year because of COVID. But I want to work with the development of modified timbers and changes of timbers to try and offer the industry something that's more cost effective, more durable, and longer lasting. So we'll constantly be developing these products. But at the moment, you've got your European redwoods. As long as you treat it within the UK, then it's viable. The timbers is not the problem. The problem with joiners is bad design. That's the main problem. If you don't design your product correctly, then you don't allow it to dry out naturally, and you don't allow water to escape where it needs to escape. If you trap moisture, then it's going to rot. That's common sense. So unfortunately, the 2p gap around a window nowadays should be stopped. It's an old joinery method that says, oh, I need this nice 2.5 mil, 3 mil gap around my window, because that's what's traditional. But what's traditional doesn't work. So let's start thinking about new technology, new methods, and doing the right things that gives the customer the best product possible.
Thanks, Aaron. There's a couple of the questions here, but if anybody wants to ask a question in person, please feel free just to unmute your mic, not a problem at all. But Natalie asks a really pertinent question, is do we expect, or when do we expect .Q to apply to refurb? There's no clear answer to that, but there was a government review of building regulations which included windows and doors earlier this year. That was started off with a consultation. It's still ongoing because of the COVID situation, but there was also planned for now, but I understand it's being delayed now till probably the second quarter next year, a review of the building regulations for refurbishment. So we may see some of the requirements coming into that because part of that is being, especially on security, is being driven by the insurance companies. So there are a lot of pressures now within the market to provide more secure, safer products, not only just a new build. So, do we know if it's definitely going to be a .Q or would it be something else? We're not sure, but I think we can expect the building regulations to tighten up on refurb over the next year or so. Some of that is due to the fallout from the awful Grenfell tragedy as well, which is still casting a shadow of quite rightly so on the decisions being made. But security is a big part of it also. So we'll keep you fully up to speed with that through our contacts. And Judith, you had a question on windows and doors. And it was really regards renovations. So you're saying that for windows and doors and renovations of, say, Victorian houses, can we use Accoya?
The straight answer for, if it's a planning constraint and the planning officer's specifying a performance, obviously Accoya at the moment under the joinery network guidance can't be used. If it's a conservation or a listed property or it's within keeping with that area, then yes, you can use that substrate, absolutely.
Great, okay. If there's any other questions, please please let us know. You can either put them on the chat or just ask them in person. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about, as well as the specification sheets that are going to be launched toward the end of the year. We're also working on homeowner literature and marketing support, just really to help in joinery companies get that information out to in the right way and have that big system feel about the product, so that it gives a lot of confidence to companies. So that'll be launched very early into the new year. Also, one of the benefits from Certas that we'll be announcing early in the new year, and is available now actually to anybody who wanted to join the scheme, is the ability to offer very good, very low-cost finance to homeowners for windows and doors. Some of the best rates that I've seen actually, without many of the tie-ins, and it's a very simple system to be able to offer as well. So we think that'll have a big effect going into next year, just to help some companies in rather than having to sell finance, which nobody really wants to do, to have a very simple system. You can say finance is available and here it is, guys, and it's low cost. So great. Anybody else with any questions? We will be circulating the presentation after this meeting. We'll also share the email contacts for all the founder partners